Alright, so Konami just dropped a new 105 Gattuso, and I'm not even gonna lie, when I first saw this card, I already knew what type of player we're dealing with here because whenever you hear Gattuso in eFootball, you're not thinking flair, you're not thinking creativity, you're thinking one thing and one thing only. Pure defensive chaos, and that's exactly what this card brings to the table. Because on paper, this is a defensive monster. And I don't use that word lightly. This is the type of DMF that doesn't just sit there and look good in stats. This is the type of player that actively ruins your opponent's entire game plan, but yeah, there's a big catch here, and we're gonna get into that, because a lot of people are about to waste coins on something they might not actually need. So let's break this card down properly, starting with what makes him so good in the first place, because defensively, this guy is ridiculous. 99 defensive awareness, 99 defensive engagement, 100 tackling, 99 aggression. Like, bro, what are we even talking about at this point? These are endgame defensive numbers. This is the kind of DMF that reads everything before it even happens. Every pass, every run, every loose ball, he's already there, and that's what separates elite defensive midfielders from average ones. It's not just about tackling, it's about positioning. And Gattuso is basically programmed to be in the right place at the right time, and then when you actually go into duels, yeah, good luck getting past him, because his physical contact is sitting at 90, which means he's not just intercepting, he's bullying. He's pushing players off the ball, he's winning those shoulder-to-shoulder battles, and combined with that aggression at 99, he's constantly pressing, constantly annoying your opponent. Like, he doesn't give you time to breathe, and that's exactly what you want from a destroyer DMF, someone who applies pressure without you even thinking about it, and then you add his speed and acceleration into the mix. 91 speed, 90 acceleration, and now it gets even more dangerous, because this is not a slow defensive midfielder. This is someone who can actually cover ground, chase players down, recover quickly when you're out of position, and that's huge in modern eFootball gameplay, because the game is fast, transitions are quick, and if your DMF can't keep up, you're getting exposed. But Gattuso? Yeah, he's keeping up with everyone. Now let's talk about stamina as well, because this is something people overlook. 96 stamina. That basically means he's playing the entire match at full intensity, pressing, tackling, intercepting, non-stop, no drop-off. And that's exactly what you need in that role. Someone who doesn't disappear after 60 minutes, someone who's still making clutch interceptions in the 90th minute when your opponent is trying to equalize. Now moving slightly forward, his passing is actually decent for a defensive midfielder, 87 low pass and 77 lofted pass. It's not elite, it's not playmaker level, but it's good enough, and that's all you really need from a player like this. You're not using Gattuso to create chances. You're using him to win the ball and recycle possession, keep things simple, give it to your more creative players, and let them do the rest. And honestly, that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They try to force DMFs like this into roles they're not meant for. But if you use him correctly, just sitting in front of your defense, breaking up play, making simple passes, he becomes insanely effective now dribbling-wise. Yeah, it's exactly what you expect. 80 ball control, 81 dribbling, 83 tight possession. It's not bad, but it's not amazing either, and that's fine because, again, you're not trying to dribble past players with Gattuso. You're trying to win the ball and move it quickly, keep things efficient. Now jumping at 83 is actually decent for a DMF. He can compete in aerial duels, he's not dominant, but he's not weak either. And when you combine that with his physical presence, he can definitely hold his own in midfield battles. Now let's talk about his player skills, because this is where things get interesting. He has fortress and long reach tackle, and if you've used players with these skills before, you already know how impactful they are. Fortress basically makes him even more solid defensively, especially when your team is under pressure. And long reach tackle? Yeah, that's the annoying one. That's the skill where you think you're safe, you think you've beaten him, and suddenly he stretches out of nowhere and wins the ball back. And that combination just makes him even more frustrating to play against. But now we get to the problem, the catch. The thing that changes everything about this card, and it's simple. This is basically the same as his old one. 05 version, like I'm not even exaggerating here. When you actually compare both cards side by side, it's almost identical. The stats are extremely similar, the playstyle is the same, and the biggest thing, even the player skills are the same. Fortress and long reach tackle, literally no difference. And that's where the issue comes in, because if you already have the old 105 Gattuso, what exactly are you upgrading to? What are you gaining? Because realistically, nothing. You're not getting a new playstyle, you're not getting a new skill combination, you're not getting a significant stat boost. It's basically the same player, just repackaged. And this is something Konami has been doing a lot recently, dropping cards that look new, feel new, but when you actually break them down, they're just slightly tweaked versions of what we already have. And for free-to-play players especially, this matters a lot because your coins are limited. You can't just go for every new card that drops. You have to be smart, you have to prioritize, and spending coins on a card that's basically identical to one you already own, that's just not a good decision. Now don't get me wrong, if you don't have the old Gattuso, then Yeah, this card is 100% worth considering. Because like we said, he's a defensive monster, he will improve your midfield, he will make your team harder to break down, and he fits perfectly into most formations that use a DMF. But if you already have that old version, this is where you need to be disciplined, because it's very easy to get tempted. You see new card, you see 105 rating, and you think it's automatically better, but in this case, it's not. It's the same experience, the same performance.